Dear students, in communication principles that we did in our last video, we were discussing about the first two C's of communication, that were courtesy and conciseness. So as we saw in courtesy, we'll continue from the same point, that we should remove the words or expressions that hurt, irritate, or insult. So you should always try that you do not use any words which offend or hurt the feelings or irritate, or you try to actually disrespect any individual whom you are talking to, right? Also, grant apologies whenever asked. So one should be also very much convenient or very much liberal in terms of giving apologies, in terms of accepting the sorries when anyone realizes their mistake and comes forward to ask for your forgiveness. This is how you can be courteous individual and also include courtesy or the you attitude in your communication. Now moving on to the third C of communication, that is C for correctness. Here, as you can see, at the core of correctness is proper grammar, punctuation and spelling. So by correctness in our subject matter or in our communication, whether written or oral, we mean that you should use proper grammar, that is subject, verb, agreement, noun, pronoun, all parts of speech. Then punctuation, full stop, comma, all sorts, colon, semicolon, as per the content that you're having. And spelling. So spellings are also very important, because if a word is misspelled, then at times it is mispronounced and you might confuse it for some other word which has a very much a similar spelling than this particular word. Then use the right level of language. You should also keep in mind that what is the level of your audience. So whether your audience are beginners to the matter that you are talking about, like if you are discussing some topic for students who are from primary section, then you might use the beginner's guide for explanation. Then if they are maybe in their high school, then you can gradually increase your level of English language or explanation examples or whatever set of description that you are using. And suppose that if your students are maybe intermediate or above level, then you can again use the communication medium in terms of that perhaps you can increase the level of the illustrations that you are giving, because the students have the mindset and they can understand that. So understanding and describing as per the audience that you're having and using the right level of language is also very important, so that the message is delivered correctly and in the best sense. Then check accuracy of facts, figures and words. So by correctness we not only mean grammar, but we also mean that your facts, whatever you are mentioning, the thoughts, they should be correct in terms of the data or the statistics that you are giving. Like if you are mentioning 200 people visited the event, or around 500 number of guests were there, then your actual data should be close to what you are actually mentioning, right? Because it is in a communicated form, it might be recorded, and if the facts are not accurate, then people will doubt your reliability, or you will be doubted in terms of trust. Then choose the non discriminatory language. You should always keep in mind that your language is such that no individual is actually offended, or none of the individuals feel hurt or discontented. In fact, you should try to be bias free in terms of the language that you are using, so that people feel accepted and you are respected among the crowd you deal with. Then use parallel language. Your language should be constant throughout the discussion or the description. Like if you're starting with maybe suppose a beginner level of English, then you should try to follow the same throughout the complete explanation. It should not be that you started maybe at a very easy basic level and then you moved on to a very tough superfluous level. Then the readers might feel a little bit of discomfort or uneasiness in digesting or understanding the matter or the thought that you have discussed through the language. Examples you can see here how you can use words which are comparatively correct and easier to understand. Example, more formal, like if you are writing something that is very much formal, then you can use the word participate. But if this is for a group that is more of social gathering, then you can use join. As you can also see, we use participate in the conference, or participate in the seminar, or participate in the event, and we use please join the function, please join the party, please join the gathering. So you can make out the difference that participate is formal and less formal is when you use the word join. Similarly, you can see procure is a more formal and get is a lesser formal in terms of explanation. So when you're using procure, means you have to bring it, or you have to get it arranged, or you have to get it organized. But procurement is more of ordering in terms of a little formal use or description, and to get something is what you use more commonly in your local language or in your day-to-day. And thus you can see how you can use the synonyms, both categories of words, in different forms of usage. Similarly, you have endeavor. So when you are using this particular word, it also means the same thing, that is efforts, that is we wish you all the best for your future endeavors. And also in a less formal way you can use that try to be the best wherever you go. So when it comes to endeavor word usage, it is more formal in sense when we quote, and the try and try until you succeed sort of quotes are a little less formal. So as you can see here, this is what we discussed in terms of the level of language. So when it is a more of formal subject matter, then we could use words like we here discussed here, participate, procure and endeavor. And when the matter or when the thing that we are using is more of less formal, then we can use words like join, get and try. Now moving on to the fourth C of communication, that is C for clarity. Getting the meaning from your head to the head of your reader accurately. So this is basically when the message in whatever form you have coded gets decoded in the exact sense or the exact manner in the mind of the listener or the reader at the other end. Then you can say that clarity or the purpose of being clear in your message delivery has been accomplished. For this, we should take care of some of guidelines as we have here, like use short and simple known words. So instead of using words which are very much flowery and difficult in terms of the reader to digest, you can use short and simple known sentences or words. Then make sentences and paragraphs by unity of idea and in a sequence. So, very significant thought to consider here is the topic sentence. By unity of idea, we mean that whole of your paragraph should be around the topic sentence or the main idea of the paragraph, and then the other sentences that you're using, they can relate or be supporting to the topic sentence. Next, we have get proper readability by using formal and informal language. So, also you should check for yourself whether the readability of the delivery that you are making in at times of your formal and informal occasions is appropriate to the meaning that you are delivering or not. Then include examples, illustrations, and visual aids. For clarity, you can use examples from your daily practical life, illustrations like tables, figures, charts, and diagrams, visual aids like presentation on maybe PPTs and projectors and other blackboard, green board, whiteboards, all sorts of material, so that your description or the subject matter is more clearly expressed and understood. Uh, Also, you can see here we can use some simple words like subsequent in terms of your description, and in place you can use later. So later is another synonym of the same word, but a little simple or a more commonly used word. Then accede, you can use agree. So acceded to my request or he agreed to my request, the same sense is communicated, but the word is a little easier. Similarly, endeavor I discussed in my last example. You can use try, and disclose or to reveal you can use show. So later, agree, try, and show, these are comparatively simple words, and the spellings are also easier compared to subsequent, accede, endeavor, and disclose. So we should try to use in our communication a simpler and more structured and a more examples and illustrations and visual aids, so as to include clarity in your communication. That's all in this video. Thank you.